Welcome back, Internet. I'm here with another StarCraft 2 gameplay commentary. In this game, I'll be showcasing the 1-1 roach timing push in a tutorial through the entire build. I'll be spawning at the top right as a red zerg and my opponent Roppy Cop Hop at the bottom left here on Daybreak. Now, just fast forwarding through the beginning part, I'm not going to do anything special until I get to 15 supply, and that's where I'm going to get my spawning pool, and then when I get to 15 supply again, I'm going to drop down my extractor. It's pretty standard and it's really safe, and it'll be able to defend you against any sort of really aggression like 6 pools as long as you micro and know it's coming properly. It's going to be really easy to know it's coming because your first overlord is going to want to go to his natural expansion just to see what timing he gets his at, and make sure he does get it, because if he doesn't get it, this build isn't going to work. You need to go more defensive build as well, because if he doesn't get his expansion, you keep yours, you're going to win outright. Your second overlord, I recommend to go to his third base, because it's easy to forget that, but it's really important to see what's going on there. Now, I have my extractor. I'm going to put 3 drones on gas just right off the bat, and I'm going to need to get my metabolic boost as fast as possible. Now, it's tempting to skip metabolic boost and the baling nest in this game, but I highly recommend getting them both because it's going to allow you to both pressure and defend from any sort of pressure he might do. Now, you're going to want him to either be doing mediocre pressure or going ahead and trying to play out a macro game. So the more extractors he gets, the better for you. And especially if if he wants to do a muta timing push, you're gonna kill him outright most of the time. I'm not gonna guarantee it because, well, it's StarCraft 2, anything can happen. Here, just poking on my first zerglings. I kill off a drone. That's pretty lucky. It's not necessary for this build. But back at my base, I took my I bought up my baling nest, which I highly recommend, and I'm taking my expansion. I think I get supply block here a little bit. It's not too big of a concern. I'm gonna go ahead and get double queen just for the injects and such, and I'm taking my second extractor around 5:30, 5:20. You're gonna want, don't do this. This was a bad choice on my part. I put too many drones before it even came up. You're going to want that second extractor around then, and you're going to want to get enough gas so you're going to be able to have a 1-1 timing as well as production for roach production. Until I get about, I think like 400 gas is a good amount, and then you're going to take 2 of your drones off the gas and keep going back on minerals. Now, pretty easily, I'm just going to go here, I'm going to poke and prod with these, with some zerglings, make sure he's not doing anything really crazy, like a really fast timing push. I'm going to go ahead and morph some banelings here, hope to snipe some damage off, to get some damage off. I see he does have a lot of links here, so I know he's trying, or drones here, so I know he's trying to play a macro game, and he's probably built more drones than I have at this point, since he got his expansion earlier. It's a less safe build, but a lot of times it can pay off if you're interested in doing that. I go ahead and snipe a whole bunch of banelings. It's really fortunate for me. It's not necessary for this build, but it's really nice. The important thing is that you're just putting on pressure, making sure he's not doing a whole crazy all-in. Here I'm going to go ahead and take my double Evo chamber and my roach warren around 7 minutes. This is a pretty good time. It's what timing you might see in like a Protoss matchup. So I'm just going to go ahead, and these are going to be more defensive banelings. I'm going to go out and make sure he's not doing any crazy pressure once again. He doesn't have a third base, which is good, because if he has a third base, it's not good, but it'll be easier to push. So if he does get a third base, just don't panic. Just stick with the build, and you'll be able to probably kill him outright with all that commitment. So I see he does have some defensive banelings here, which is so just making sure he's continuing to do a macro game. You don't need to be out droning him. You want to have these zerglings to put on pressure. It is really important. You don't need a tremendous amount of a drone lead in order for this build to work. You don't even need a drone lead at all. You just need to make sure as soon as these 1-1 timing roach timing push is about, you just spam make roaches, and it's going to be really strong. So right here around the 8:40 minute mark, I'm just going to start pumping out a lot of overlords and start my roach production. And these roaches, now that I'm starting to produce roaches, and I have a couple of defensive banelings as well as some zerglings, it's going to be really hard for him just to do any really strong pressure. And you'll see that as soon as he starts to try to do some. I have roaches already. And he probably has a drone lead right now because I invested a lot of larva into stuff early game. Let me just double check, see if he does. Yeah, he has a small drone lead, which is expected with this build, because this build is meant to do damage as well as to get you your third really quickly if it doesn't outright kill your opponent. But I think if you're in the lower leagues and you make it this far, it's gonna outright kill your opponent. Now I see he's taking his third base, which is awesome. I also see that he has roaches right here, and they're not upgraded at all, which is gonna make this push really strong. So I'm gonna go ahead and throw it on my hatchery, and I'm gonna just go ahead and just push. It's gonna be a 1A push, really simple, really easy. Since my 1-1 is almost done, I'm just gonna fast forward it. Go ahead and show that. I'm just keeping up with injects. Alright, here's the fight. So he really smartly puts up a bunch of spine crawlers, but this push is still going to do lots of damage. See, he has 0-0, and my 1-1 roaches are going to absolutely tear through his defenses. This is going to make him produce so many more units than I am. Well, I'm going to go ahead and drone behind this and secure my third. Since he had to cancel his third, or otherwise he would have not had enough minerals to defend this push. So, lucky for him, he has a lot of spine crawlers, and spine crawlers are really good in roach protection, but it's still doing a ton of damage, as you can see how brutal it is to try to defend. Now I have my third base up, so I'm going to go ahead and start droning now. It's important not to overcommit. If it seems like there's a possibility for him to hold it, don't overcommit, because he can just easily come back, and since he still has a drone lead, you can see, it's really important that you don't overcommit. But now that I have a third base, my drone production and my mineral production is going to go, or my mineral gathering is going to go much higher than his. So even though this push didn't outright kill him like it normally does, it's still really, really strong. And now that I'm able to secure my third, so I started droning up on my third, and I'm basically just droning up since he can't really do any aggression since he's still on 0-0. My roaches severely outdamage him. Now, you might be wondering if he gets Mutalisk. Well, when this attack happened, you couldn't even get Mutalisks at that time, and if you are going for Mutalisks and you have that Spire running, it's going to absolutely crush you just right then and there. And the Mutalisks don't do any damage to roaches with +1 armor unless they have really high upgrades or you don't have any armor at all. So here I am just proking and prodding, and it's really hard for him. If you can tell, these roaches survive forever. So I'm going to go ahead and take his deny this third base. I kind of miss micro here. I lose a couple of roaches. But you can even see how many roaches he has and how long it takes for them to die. So now that I have my third, I'm going to go ahead and my drone count is much higher, and I've already started teching up to lair. And when I get to the lair, I'm going to start my 2-2 immediately, my roach speed, and I'm going to go ahead and throw it in an infestation pit as well. Now, I'm making a couple defensive roaches just in case he tries to do a retaliation attack, which is actually smart for him to do. And you'll see he is going to try to go ahead and mass tech and just hope to win with infestors, but I'm just way too far ahead for any of that to matter right now. So let's see, my layer is finishing up right now. I'm going to go ahead and start my 2-2 as soon as they're done, hopefully. Come on, buddy. Come on, buddy. There we go. Alright, started my 2-2, and I hope my roach speed will be right on the way. Yep, right on the way. I see he has a third base, so I'm just going to go ahead and deny that again, since he probably has 1-1 now, or he actually has 2-2. That's really surprising. So he did upgrade really fast after I did that initial push. But I'm still so far ahead in drones, as you can see, that this is pretty much over. I have 70 drones. He's not going to be able to come back just because I did that 1-1 push and he had to invest so much minerals into spine crawlers, and he couldn't do any aggression, so I could easily take that third. Now, a lot of people will try to send some zerglings to try to take down this third or deny or kill some drones, and it's really important that you also can throw some spine crawlers down. Another thing that players might do to try to get back into the game is go for Mutalisks. So I just went ahead and throw down 3 spore crawlers. I'm in such a good position that it doesn't really matter that I waste those 125 minerals each. I see he is doing a push, but I'm already almost maxed out just because my income is immensely greater. So I'm just going to go ahead and mass my roaches up. I think I'm getting, this hatchery should be earlier, to be honest, to keep production up since you have enough. So he has infestors already, and he has 2-2, and I just got my 2-2. So this is actually going to crush my army, but my production is so high I'm going to go ahead and just clean it up anyway. Throw down a couple fungals, and then I'm just going to send roaches down, and then after this push is done, this is his last attempt, because without a third base there's nothing he can do. So I'm going to go ahead and deny that third again and just push to end the game. I'm just going to go fast forward through the rest of this. So that's the Roach 1-1 timing push and a follow-up execution. I hope you guys enjoy, and please subscribe and like this video to stay tuned for more.